Since all demand and supply numbers are now fully integrated with finance, our next and final step of the S&OP process is the Executive Review Meeting. This is the most strategic stage of S&OP, where the entire plan is reviewed, validated, and formally approved by senior business leadership. Let us assume Mr. Elmer is our executive business leader, positioned as the president of the business. Mr. Elmer remains accountable for reviewing and approving the entire S&OP plan in final step of S&OP process. This meeting ensures that the organization is aligned not only operationally and financially, but also strategically. Now, let us look at how this meeting is conducted. Mr. David, our demand planner, schedules the executive review meeting and invites all key business leaders. The participants include Mr. Elmer, the president, Mr. Michael, the manufacturing leader, Mr. Brian, the buying leader, Ms. Sophia, the stores leader, Ms. Fabiana, the finance leader, Mr. Patrick, the product management leader, and Ms. Sonia, the sales leader. This clearly shows that S&OP is not owned by one function, but by the business as a whole. During the meeting, the leadership team jointly reviews all critical elements of the plan. This includes the new product launch strategy, phase-out plans for declining products, the approved demand plan, the feasible supply plan, and the financial adjustments and trade-offs made during pre-S&OP. For example, leaders discuss whether production capacity is sufficient during peak demand months, whether supplier readiness is aligned with product launches, and whether inventory levels support customer service targets. At this point, Ms. Fabiana, the finance leader, highlights an important forward-looking insight. She informs Mr. Elmer that while the current year plan is financially sound, the business should start thinking about capacity expansion for next year, as early indicators show that demand for high-end gaming laptops is expected to grow significantly. This triggers a strategic discussion beyond the current planning horizon. Based on this input, Mr. Elmer provides direction to Mr. Patrick from product management and Mr. David from demand planning. He asks them to prepare tentative forecasts for the next year so the business can assess future demand levels and proactively plan for additional capacity, such as new machines, workforce expansion, or long-term supplier contracts. This becomes a clear action item for Mr. David and Mr. Patrick to present demand projections in the next executive review meeting. After reviewing all aspects of the plan, Mr. Elmer confirms that there are no changes required, as the demand, supply, and financial plans are well aligned and support the business objectives. He formally acknowledges the plan and approves it to move forward. Following the meeting, Mr. David, the demand planner, shares the finalized S&OP plan with Mr. Elmer via email, and Mr. Elmer provides formal approval to proceed. With this, the primary objective of the executive review is achieved. It is also important to note that every executive review meeting covers 2 additional standard agenda items. The first is a review of action items from previous months, including their status and completion. The second is a review of business performance, focusing on key metrics such as forecast accuracy, sales and profit, on-time delivery, inventory health, and customer service levels. Hence, this clearly demonstrates strong alignment, cross-functional involvement, and visible leadership ownership. Once approved, the final demand plan is loaded into the ERP system, allowing downstream planning processes such as master production scheduling, or MPS, and material requirements planning, or MRP, to begin. Supply planners then update execution details in the ERP, such as shift calendars, capacity parameters, and supplier schedules, ensuring that planning and execution remain synchronized across the organization. So, in a nutshell, the executive review reinforces one demand number, one supply number, and one aligned business plan for everyone to follow. It represents true coordination, disciplined decision-making, and a single direction set by leadership for the entire enterprise. Once the formal plan is into the system, the execution plan, like production orders, purchase orders, production plan, buying plan, executes as per the timelines, and ensures the strategic plan, converted into business plan, is well drafted into the executable actions across the organization. Now, this brings us to the conclusion of all 5 steps of the S&OP process. We have walked through each step using a single, consistent example to clearly relate the concepts to a real business scenario. Even though we considered a relatively small business with just 3 product lines, you could already see how detailed and structured this exercise was. Now, imagine the scale and complexity when the same process is applied to hundreds or even thousands of products across multiple markets. This clearly highlights how extensive the S&OP process becomes and how critical it is for business planning, alignment, and long-term success.
Finally, even the plan is into a system. We have also discussed different action items generated throughout the 5 steps of this process. All these action items remain a priority for each owner or department. These action items keep changing in every meeting as per changes in business priorities, and each of them is reviewed and discussed in S&OP meetings. Hopefully, you are now clear about how S&OP runs in a business scenario, and you must have understood the role of different functions, making it an organization-wide one plan and one number that is followed. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for next important sessions.